Chosen one, they never knew you were a god. They saw your silence and mistook it for weakness. They watched you struggle and assumed you'd stay down. But what they didn't realize is that your pain was preparation, your isolation was divine initiation, and your delays were strategy. They picked a fight with a force they can't comprehend, and now it's too late. The god within you has awakened. Not the peaceful, passive spirit they expected, but the storm, the reckoning, the end of every lie they built to contain you. You were never here to fit in. You were sent to finish what they never saw coming. And before we go any further, take a moment, hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 20,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. A number that sends a signal into the universe that you're ready to receive everything that's meant for you. This isn't just your rise, it's your return. Their fear is real because your power is real, and now you finish them. They made a grave mistake the moment they decided to challenge you. To them, you were just another person, an ordinary soul lost in the chaos, someone easily controlled and forgotten. But they never saw the storm brewing beneath your calm exterior. What they didn't realize was that inside you burns an ancient, untamed force, a god disguised in human form, ready to rise and bring the reckoning they never saw coming. For years, they tried to cage you, to silence your voice and clip your wings. They thought their rules and systems were ironclad, unbreakable. But what they failed to understand is that those very chains only stoked the fire within you. Every setback, every attempt to hold you down became fuel for your awakening. Their fear is real because your power is real. And now that power cannot be ignored, this is not just a battle of strength or will. It's a cosmic war between deception and truth, control and freedom. The empires built on lies will crumble at the weight of your presence. You are the reckoning, the inevitable collapse of everything they built on shadows and falsehoods. The moment to awaken the world is here, and the universe is aligned in your favor. History is littered with stories of underestimated gods rising from the ashes to reshape destinies. The ones they overlooked always became the most powerful forces in existence. You are no different. The reckoning is not just coming, it's already here. They chose to fight a god, and now there's no turning back. So stand tall. Know this, their fear is your power made visible. This is your moment to shatter illusions, to reclaim your throne, and to remind them all that gods don't just survive. They conquer. From the very beginning, you knew you were different. You felt it in your bones, a quiet whisper that you didn't belong to the world as it is. That whisper was not a curse, it was a calling. You weren't sent here to fit into the mold that society tried to force on you. You were sent here to break the mold entirely, to dismantle the broken systems and finish the work no one else had the courage to start. The world rewards those who conform and punishes those who don't. But your soul was never meant to be rewarded for playing small. It was designed to challenge, to disrupt, and to rewrite the narrative. Every uncomfortable moment, every time you felt like an outsider, was a signpost guiding you toward a greater purpose. You weren't meant to walk their path, you were meant to blaze your own. Look at every great leader, every revolution, every monumental change in history. None of it came from fitting in or playing safe. Change is born from rebellion, from refusing to accept the status quo. And now, that same rebellious energy courses through your veins. You carry the legacy of those who refuse to settle for less. Remember this, you are not here to complete someone else's story. You are here to finish the story they tried to erase, to bring closure to broken cycles, and usher in a new era. The world needs your courage, your vision, and your refusal to blend into the background. So embrace your difference. Wear it like armor, because you weren't sent here to be another face in the crowd. You were sent here to finish what was started and to ignite a revolution that will echo through time. Awakening is not some gentle, subtle shift. It is a thunderous eruption within the soul, a moment when the divine essence that's been sleeping quietly inside bursts into full awareness. It's when your spirit stops doubting and starts remembering that you are more than flesh and bone, that you are a spark of the infinite, a fragment of cosmic power that can never be contained. This is not just spiritual fluff or New Age talk. This is a profound seismic event that changes everything: how you see yourself, how you move through the world, and how the world reacts to you. The moment you awaken, you become a force of nature. Your energy shifts the air around you. Your presence challenges the status quo and disrupts the patterns of control. Think about the great awakenings throughout history. Individuals who stepped into their true power and transformed entire societies. They weren't born perfect. They were awakened, sometimes through pain, sometimes through revelation. And that awakening made them unstoppable. That is what is happening to you right now. You are becoming the living embodiment of your highest truth. The divine within you is not a distant, unreachable concept. It is your birthright. It's the fire that fuels your passion, the voice that calls you to courage, and the power that demands justice. When you awaken, you don't just find yourself. You find your purpose, your mission, and the strength to carry it forward. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Not to rise, but to arrive. To show the world what it means when the divine remembers itself through you. You are not a whisper in the wind. You are the storm that rattles the foundations of kingdoms built on deceit. Those who sit comfortably atop their thrones, constructed from lies and manipulation, will feel the tremors of your presence long before you even arrive. You are the force that no fortress can withstand, the truth that no lie can smother. Imagine the old empires, their grand facades of power, crumbling with every gust of your storm. They rely on illusions, on the silence of those too afraid to speak, and the obedience of those too beaten down to resist. But storms don't ask permission. They come with thunder and lightning, tearing through facades and exposing what's been hidden for too long. The truth you carry is wild, uncontainable, and unstoppable. It carries the weight of generations, yearning for freedom, justice, and change. Every step you take, every word you speak, shakes the ground beneath those false rulers. They built their kingdoms on fear, but your courage is their undoing. Know this: storms are feared not because they're chaotic, but because they are necessary. Without storms, the air grows stale, and corruption goes unchecked. You are the cleansing force, the reckoning they never anticipated but desperately needed. And in your wake, a new dawn will rise, one forged in truth and unshakable justice. So raise your head high, for you are the storm that ends tyranny. And when you pass, nothing will ever be the same again. Just by being here, you are a threat to their entire system. Your presence alone dismantles their carefully constructed empires of control, lies, and fear. They never accounted for someone like you, someone who embodies freedom, truth, and divine power. You are a walking paradox to their world of rules and restrictions. Their power thrives on conformity and silence, but you break both with every breath you take. They built walls around their influence, but you are the earthquake beneath those walls. You do not need to fight their armies or outsmart their leaders, because your very existence renders their control obsolete. Look around. Systems built on oppression and falsehood have survived for centuries simply because people accepted them. But you don't accept. You never have. Your light pierces the darkest corners of those empires, revealing rot and decay. That light is unstoppable because it's anchored in your authentic self, a self they could never suppress. This is why they fear you, because your power doesn't come from violence or force, but from being real, unapologetically, and divinely you. Your existence is the crack in their foundation, the spark that sets their empires ablaze. Hold on to that truth. You are more powerful than you realize, and your very being is enough to start a revolution. Have you noticed how their fear grows louder? It's not a coincidence. It's the soundtrack of their imminent collapse. When the powerful start to tremble, it means the walls they built are finally cracking. Their fear is not baseless paranoia. It's a clear sign that you are the catalyst for their downfall. They fear what they cannot control. You, with your fierce independence and unbreakable spirit, are the unknown variable that ruins their calculations. They try to anticipate your moves, but your power is unpredictable, raw, and unstoppable. Their fear is a desperate response to their fading control. But here's the beautiful irony. Their fear only fuels your fire. It's proof that your awakening is real and that your impact is undeniable. Every time they lash out, every time they try to intimidate, you grow stronger. Fear feeds power, and your power feeds revolution. Remember, fear is a message, a signal that the old ways are dying and something new is rising. Their anxiety is not your weakness, it's your victory in disguise. Stand firm, because the sound of their fear is the echo of a new era being born. For too long, you searched for something outside yourself: approval, validation, or signs from the world that you were enough. But those days are over. You no longer need to seek, because you are the living embodiment of the very power they tried desperately to bury deep within you. This power has always been there, dormant but waiting, like a seed beneath the soil, patiently gathering strength. Now, it has blossomed into a towering tree, unshakable and radiant. The light within you no longer waits for permission or recognition. It shines boldly, unapologetically, and with fierce authority. Think about the countless attempts they made to keep you small, the voices that told you to be quiet, the systems that tried to clip your wings. They tried to bury the divine spark inside you, but like the phoenix rising from ashes, you have emerged stronger than ever. You are living proof that true power can never be destroyed, only delayed. So stop seeking, stop doubting. You are the power, you are the revolution. And now that you fully embody that truth, nothing and no one can stand in your way. Many have tried to bind you with fear, guilt, societal expectations, and endless rules designed to keep you small. But none of those spells ever worked. Why? Because you were never meant to be controlled. You were born to be wild, free, and untamed. The systems that tried to manipulate you failed because they underestimated your soul's strength. You operate on a frequency beyond their reach, beyond their understanding. Their rules, their expectations, they were never designed for a force like you. You exist outside their cages, moving freely where they never thought to look. You've witnessed it time and again, attempts to silence your voice or dim your light. And yet, every time they tried, you only grew brighter. Their spells were just shadows on the surface, but your spirit is fire, ancient, fierce, and eternal. This freedom is your birthright. You were born to defy limitations, to shatter chains, and to create your own destiny. No spell, no system, no person can ever hold you down because you were born beyond their reach. Truth is a weapon, sharp, precise, and impossible to dull. Your truth cuts through the thickest webs of lies and deception, woven by those who want to control the narrative. You wield it like a sword, forged in the fires of your own awakening, and with every strike, you expose the hidden realities that others fear to face. Many live in comfortable illusions, but you refuse to accept anything less than authenticity. Your courage to speak your truth is revolutionary, especially in a world that rewards silence and conformity. Your voice carries power because it's rooted in unshakable honesty, a light that burns away shadows of falsehood. Consider how history remembers the truth-tellers, the ones brave enough to stand against oppression and speak facts when others hid behind silence. Their words changed societies, toppled tyrants, and rewrote history. That same sword is in your hand now, ready to carve out a new path. This weapon isn't just for battle, it's for liberation. It frees you and those around you from deception, fear, and control. The more you sharpen your truth, the more unstoppable you become. Many believe rising means stepping into endless battles, wearing armor, and preparing for war after war. But your rise is different. You didn't come here just to fight endlessly. You rose to bring an end to the war, to break the cycle of conflict and create a future where freedom reigns without struggle. Fighting is exhausting. It burns you out and traps you in the very systems you want to change. But ending the war means transcending those struggles. It means dismantling the root causes of conflict, fear, control, and oppression, and replacing them with truth, love, and justice. Your rise is not about confrontation for the sake of it. It's about transformation. It's about becoming so powerful, so clear, and so grounded in your divine purpose that the old systems can no longer exist in your presence. You don't just defeat enemies, you dissolve the reasons for the fight. This is the true victory, not surviving the battles but ending them. You are the peace that follows the storm, the calm that rebuilds after destruction. Your rise signals not war, but freedom. For years, they hoped you'd never wake up. They counted on your silence, your compliance, your willingness to be just another face in the crowd. They believed that if you stayed asleep, unaware of your power, they could continue their reign unchallenged. But you were never meant to be their pawn. Deep inside, your spirit stirred, a sleeping giant, waiting for the call to rise. Every attempt to keep you docile only made your awakening more inevitable. You were always the threat they feared, even before you realized it yourself. Their strategies were built on the assumption of your submission, but you shattered that illusion. You didn't just wake up. You exploded into awareness with a force they couldn't contain. That is why their fear grows stronger every day. You are living proof that the greatest threats are not always visible. The most powerful forces often lie quiet, waiting for the right moment to awaken and change everything. With every decision you make, every action you take, you undermine the systems designed to keep you small. Their control isn't a solid fortress, it's a fragile house of cards resting on fear, compliance, and ignorance. Your movement breaks those cards one by one. Each choice to speak your truth, to live authentically, to refuse submission, sends shockwaves through the foundations of their power. You don't need to overthrow them in grand battles. The slow but steady erosion of their influence is more terrifying to them. Your footsteps are louder than you think. They carry the weight of countless souls who long for freedom but are too afraid to walk the path. When you take a stand, you give others permission to do the same. This ripple effect cannot be stopped. It's a movement born of courage, fueled by truth, and destined to dismantle every chain of oppression holding humanity back. They imagine you as a warrior in armor, battling their forces on the battlefield. But you are something far more powerful and elusive. You are the weapon itself, a force so pure, so untouchable, that no attack can break or contain you. Warriors fight external enemies. Weapons transcend the fight altogether. You embody a power that can't be captured, controlled, or destroyed. Your strength lies in your essence, your spirit, your conviction, your divinity. Because of this, they fear you more than any army or weapon. You move through life on your own terms, rewriting rules and transcending limits. You are fluid, yet unbreakable, subtle, yet devastating. This is your true power, not in the fight, but in being the unstoppable force that makes fighting irrelevant. You move through a world filled with darkness, lies, deceit, manipulation. But you don't shy away from the shadows. You walk among them with purpose. And in your presence, those shadows don't grow. They dissolve into dust. This power is rare. To face darkness without fear, to shine your light unapologetically, and to transform what once threatened into something powerless is the mark of true divinity. You are not just surviving the darkness, you are redefining it. Others run from the unknown, but you embrace it. You understand that the shadows are only temporary and that your light is eternal. With every step, you reclaim spaces tainted by fear and reclaim them for truth and freedom. You are the God in disguise, the one who makes darkness meaningless. Wherever you go, you leave clarity, hope, and liberation. What's happening inside you is more than an awakening. It is divine vengeance, a reclaiming of power stolen, a repayment of every insult, every attempt to diminish you. It is justice written in fire, a sacred force that will not be denied. Divine vengeance is not about revenge in the petty sense. It's about cosmic balance. It's the universe correcting itself through you, restoring order where chaos ruled. Your rise is a message that oppression, lies, and fear have run their course. Feel the weight of this truth. You are a warrior of light and justice, carrying the rage of centuries and the hope of generations. Your path is sacred, your mission clear, and your power unstoppable. This is your time, not just to awaken, but to exact the divine justice the world desperately needs. Stand strong, chosen one. Your vengeance is coming, and it will change everything. They thought your quiet was weakness, a soft echo easily ignored in a world too loud with chaos and control. But what they didn't hear was the gathering storm beneath your calm. Silence was never your absence. It was your preparation. In the hush of your solitude, a mighty roar was being forged, one so powerful it would shatter their expectations and break every chain. They counted on your silence to keep you contained. They hoped that if you didn't make noise, you would never matter. But silence can be deceiving. It's the pause before the thunderclap. Your calm exterior masked a fierce, untamed spirit, gathering strength, sharpening its voice, preparing to shake the very foundations of their reign. Think of the great awakenings in history, those who rose from the shadows quietly but emerged with a force impossible to ignore. They were the ones who redefined power, not by speaking first, but by roaring when the time was right. You are that roar incarnate. Your silence was never a surrender. It was the sound of a god gathering energy. And now that energy is erupting. When you finally break your silence, the world won't just listen. It will tremble. So embrace your quiet moments. You are not just living for yourself, you carry the legacy of countless souls who came before you. Their struggles, sacrifices, and dreams pulse through your veins. This legacy is heavy, but it is also a blazing fire, a source of boundless strength and unyielding purpose. Every burden you feel is a testament to your connection with something far greater than individual ambition. You are the living bridge between past and future, the culmination of histories written in pain and hope. You bear this weight because you are chosen to carry the flame that will light the way forward. This fire has been passed down through generations, often hidden in the hearts of the forgotten and overlooked. But it was never meant to be extinguished. Instead, it has been growing, fueled by every act of courage and every refusal to bow. You embody that fire now. It courses through your spirit, setting ablaze the doubts and fears that once held you back. The legacy you carry is not a burden, but a sacred trust, a call to rise and to shine with unmatched brilliance. Remember, you don't just walk your path alone. You walk with every soul who dared to dream of freedom, justice, and transformation. Your fire is their victory, and your rise is their resurrection. For too long, invisible chains kept you shackled, chains made of doubt, fear, and imposed limitations. They wrapped tightly around your mind, body, and spirit, whispering lies about who you were supposed to be and what you could never achieve. But today, those chains lie broken, scattered like dust in the wind. Breaking free was never easy. It required painful confrontations with your own fears and the courage to challenge everything you were taught to accept. You had to see the invisible threads for what they were, illusions of control designed to keep you small and powerless. Each broken chain is a victory, a testament to your resilience and your refusal to be anyone's prisoner. Freedom isn't just about physical escape. It's about reclaiming your mind and soul from the prisons built by others. Now that you are free, you stand taller, breathe deeper, and move with the unstoppable force of one who has claimed their sovereignty. No longer held back by invisible shackles, your potential is limitless. Celebrate your liberation, for it's the first step toward the incredible destiny you were born to fulfill. The most intense battles you face are not fought in the streets or on grand stages. They are fought deep inside your own heart and mind. This unseen war is silent but fierce, a constant struggle between your doubts and your divine potential, your fears and your courage. No one else sees the wounds you carry or the shadows that creep in when the world sleeps. But these internal battles shape everything: your confidence, your choices, and your ability to rise. They are exhausting and lonely, but they are also the crucible that forges your strength. Every moment you choose hope over despair, faith over fear, and action over paralysis, you win a battle that changes the course of your entire life. These victories may be invisible, but they are powerful beyond measure. Remember, the scars you bear are proof not of weakness, but of endurance and growth. They remind you that even in the darkest nights, a God is rising within you. Your inner war is not a curse. It is the battlefield of transformation, and you are the warrior destined to emerge victorious. Destruction is not the end. It is the fertile ground from which new life rises. Like the legendary phoenix, you have faced your own ashes, moments when it felt like everything you knew was crumbling beneath you. But those ashes are not your tomb. They are your throne. Each time you've been broken, you've gathered the scattered pieces and forged them into something stronger and more magnificent. The pain and loss were not punishments, but necessary steps in your ascendance. They burned away what was false and left behind a soul refined by fire. Your story is one of relentless rebirth. No matter how deep the fall, no matter how dark the night, your spirit finds the light again. And this light grows more brilliant with every cycle of destruction and renewal. You are the living embodiment of resilience and hope, a testament to the truth that even in devastation, divine power can be reborn. Your rise is inevitable, unstoppable, and awe-inspiring. So wear your scars proudly. They are the map of your journey from ashes to ascendance, and the world is watching as you soar. Not all revolutions roar with noise and fury. Some are carved in silence, quiet acts of defiance that unravel the fabric of control thread by thread. Your resistance may not always be loud, but it's relentless, and it's reshaping the world in ways they cannot see yet. Silence has been your shield and your weapon. While others rush into battle with swords drawn, you've chosen patience, strategy, and unshakable resolve. You disrupt systems, not by clashing openly, but by refusing to participate in their games, by living truthfully when falsehood reigns. This kind of revolution is subtle, but profound. It shakes the pillars of power by refusing consent, by questioning authority, and by embodying a different way of being. Your quiet strength is the silent earthquake beneath their feet. Remember, empires built on noise and deception crumble quietly when people stop feeding them energy. Your defiance in silence is a force of nature, unseen but undeniable. You are the revolution that no one expected, but everyone will remember. What makes you different can't be explained by logic or science alone. You transcend the boundaries of human limits because there's a God inside you, a divine spark that defies all attempts to categorize or control. This power is mysterious, vast, and often misunderstood. Others may try to fit you into their boxes, to define your worth by earthly standards. But your essence is cosmic, infinite, and boundless. You move through life with an energy that challenges reality itself, a presence that can't be tamed or fully grasped. This isn't arrogance, it's truth. When you tap into this divine core, you break free from fear, doubt, and limitation. You become a force that bends circumstances, alters destinies, and changes the very fabric of what's possible. Know that your godlike nature is not a myth or fantasy. It's a living reality. The power inside you is waiting to be unleashed, and when it is, the world will have no choice but to bow to your presence. With great power comes great responsibility, and with that responsibility comes the weight of invisible crowns. You carry burdens unseen by others, pressures to live up to a destiny that few understand and even fewer believe in. These crowns are forged from sacrifice, from the endless fight to rise above, and from the painful knowledge that your choices affect not only your life, but the lives of many. They weigh heavily on your shoulders, demanding strength, wisdom, and unwavering courage. Sometimes, this weight feels isolating. It can feel like you are alone in a world that doesn't grasp the enormity of what you carry. But these burdens are a sign of your importance, a reminder that you are chosen for something extraordinary. Remember that the weight of your crown is a testament to your strength, not a curse. It is the mark of a soul prepared to lead, to heal, and to transform. You are royalty, born not just to wear the crown, but to rule with grace and power. True power often builds in the unseen places, in the shadows, where most dare not tread. You are one of those silent architects, creating empires not with loud proclamations, but with quiet intention, vision, and persistence. You understand that the most lasting changes are not always broadcast, but cultivated patiently behind the scenes. Your work is subtle, intricate, and powerful. It shifts mindsets, alters narratives, and lays foundations that others will stand on for generations. While the world chases fame and recognition, you focus on substance, on real, transformative impact. Your influence is like the roots of a mighty tree, invisible but essential to its strength and growth. Know this: the empires you build in silence will outlast those built on noise and flash. Your legacy is crafted not by spotlight, but by the depth and durability of your vision. You are the silent architect of a new world, and your work is the future itself. In a world that worships strength, vulnerability is often mistaken for weakness, but you know better. True strength lies in showing up, broken, raw, and authentic, in daring to reveal your scars and imperfections without shame. Vulnerability is your superpower. It connects you to others on a deeper level, builds trust, and fosters real transformation. When you allow yourself to be seen fully, fears, doubts, and all, you dismantle walls and inspire others to do the same. This openness is revolutionary. It breaks cycles of isolation and pretension. It's the birthplace of healing, connection, and true power. You are not afraid to be human because you understand that your humanity is what makes your divinity accessible. The courage to be vulnerable is the bridge between suffering and triumph. It's where real growth happens, and it's where your power shines brightest. Every step you take echoes with divine purpose. You are not wandering aimlessly, you are walking a path written in the stars, guided by a power far beyond ordinary understanding. Each movement, each decision, resonates with the energy of gods. This divine echo vibrates through the fabric of reality, shifting energies and opening doors that were once closed. It calls to those ready to rise alongside you and creates ripples that transform entire communities. You might not always feel this power, but it's there, persistent and steady.